like this and learning outside of a Sunday school class was considered anti-spiritual. Anybody remember that? It was discouraged by the very persons who were charged to teach and live the truth of the Great Commission, which commands us to make disciples of all nations by teaching them to observe all things the Lord has commanded. That phrase, teaching them, encompasses a whole lot more beyond what a Sunday school class alone can do. Not everyone enters spaces of learning for the same reasons. Some chase the title of graduate. Others seek the transformation of their experience with God. We must be the light Christ calls us to be, even among our peers.
I'm asking this graduate class cohort of 2025 and the Youth Empowered Program, that's my name for it, Empowering Program Certification Level 1, would you please stand? And so, Bishop, I present both of these to you, and we congratulate all standing. I want to present you to the Bishop.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paiswell Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
It's Monday, June 30th, and you're watching What's Trending, where we bring you the latest trends and hottest news on the people, places, and things you want to know about. I'm Jiminita Swain with all things lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. Coming up on today's show, do you want to see more women represented in Parliament? I think we all do. As we mark the International Day of Parliamentarism, we're diving into the deeper issue and what it will take to make progress. St. Agnes Anglican Church is celebrating 180 years and are in studio to share more about their ongoing celebrations of ministry and community impact. And coming up on What's the Buzz, the Bahama Beauty is serving up the latest from Jeff Bezos' star-studded wedding to the latest hot takes in sports. She's breaking down what's trending and what's got everyone talking. We've got this and so much more after the break.
At the 37th Annual Pineapple Festival, General Manager of the Bahamas Tourist Office in Eleuthera, Prescott Young, shared how festival goers got to enjoy a host of pineapple-themed delicacies and designs.
I think the Pineapple Festival is unique because it's a celebration of a local indigenous fruit. Pineapples are produced in large quantities here on the island, and to the best of my knowledge, they are not produced on the scale in other islands as they are in Eleuthera. And when you have a product that features your island and you're proud of, I think it's a great opportunity to showcase it to the visitors. And if the visitors come here, not only will they leave appreciating all the ways in which you can prepare pineapple, but getting a local taste of it, and the time that they would have here, the enjoyment, all the activity, the exchange with the locals will definitely encourage them to want to come back again and again. I believe it's a great opportunity for our visitors to come and enjoy a festival. The food is definitely a big sell at the Pineapple Festival because what we try to do is use a lot of local dishes and infuse it with pineapple. Well, this year I wanted to pay special emphasis on the artisans, and I strategically placed them at the front of the gate because I believe when persons come to a festival, your artisans, your local culture, anything that's prominent, anything that's indigenous to the island should be prominently featured. So having them positioned right at the gate as you come in, it tells us and everyone here that we put special emphasis on our artisans and our local people, and we want them to take their products to the world. We want to showcase that Eleuthera has the ability to create unique arts and craft, and that is what we plan to highlight here at this festival.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Today, the 30th of June, we mark the International Day of Parliamentarism, commemorating the founding of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, or IPU, in 1889. The IPU brings together 181 national parliaments to promote democracy, transparency, and sustainable development. Now, the Bahamas is proud to be the 180th member of the IPU, and like many others, we face some of the same challenges the organization is working to address. This year's theme, Achieving Gender Equality Action by Action, shines a spotlight on the slow but steady progress in women's representation. Globally, women now hold about 27% of parliamentary seats, up from just 11% in 1995, but progress has slowly but significantly improved in recent years. As we reflect on those numbers, we ask, how do we move from statistics to action, ensuring that women not only are present, but truly influential in shaping legislation? Well, here at home, women make up just 18% of the elected members of the House of Assembly and 25% of the appointed Senate. However, both presiding officers of Parliament, that is the Speaker and the Senate Presidents, are women. So today, on What's Trending, we're digging into the local landscape of representation and the roadblocks, as well as the way forward. I'm joined by former parliamentarian Loretta Butler-Turner. Welcome to What's Trending, Mrs. Butler-Turner.
Well, thank you very much for having me. What a wonderful and timely topic.
It's great to have you here with us, and timely indeed. So we're going to start with, what would you say is the biggest challenge facing Bahamian women who want to international politics?
I think there's several challenges. I don't think, there can just be one big challenge. I think, first of all, we've got to look at how do women access leadership? How do they actually integrate fully into leadership? And I think you have to look at that from the perspective of parties, because in the Bahamas, we do not have quotas, per se. So parties, essentially, are trying, and I see it happening more and more, trying to integrate more women. There is a challenge within the party scope, if you'd ask me, in that sometimes I think even though we put women forward as candidates, we don't always put them in very winnable seats. Sometimes we put them in the most disadvantageous seats for them to actually cut their teeth on. And that can be very discouraging. And so I think that we've got to not just look at quotas within the democracy of the parties, we also have to try and enhance, the winnability of our women. And we've got to prepare them, not just because they're women. It's so important because, Right now, I'm a part of CWIL, which is Caribbean Women in Leadership, and I mentor women, not just here in the Bahamas, but around the Caribbean. Just got back from Jamaica from doing a workshop, because Jamaica's going into national elections. So globally, I think what you're seeing is that while the UN and UN Women and today's observation of the International Parliamentary Day is really good, I think what you see happening every day, and it may not be in the spotlight and it may be not be trending every day in the Bahamas, but there are organizations every day working towards getting greater participation from women, not just in leadership, but also in parliamentary positions.
And those are fair points. So do you believe our current political environment in the Bahamas is encouraging enough women to run and to stay in the race? Why or why not?
I think there are a lot of women that are interested, because I can tell you just from the mentorship that we're doing, there is great interest. Are we doing enough to retain that interest and to enhance that interest? I think we can do more. I think that certainly we've got to prepare ourselves too. Women cannot just wait. Sometimes you have to take the lead. You have to take the responsibility of making things happen. And so rather than just waiting on the sidelines, we've got to be a little bit more aggressive, if you will, in ensuring that we are seen, we are heard, firstly, in communities, secondly, in forums such as this, and then of course in Parliament, and get your name out there, and to ensure that you're building a good name for yourself, because people are not just going to vote for you because you're a woman. It's very important that we have women included, because right now women at 27% in some parts of the Caribbean, 18% in the Bahamas. That's really small, considering we're 50% of the electorate.
Yes.
And in order for us to have a true democracy in the Bahamas and in other parts of the region, more women have got to be present at the political table.
So how do we break through those barriers? Because that was going to be my next question, with this 27% that we talked about globally in our numbers here. How do we break those barriers and let women know, like you say, maybe they have to take charge, but what else can we do to let them know that this is possible? We see women like yourself and other leaders that have put themselves forward, but what else can we do to make them feel? Communities have got to agitate. You know, everyone's going through the political process now of selecting candidates and everything. We have got to make it known to our leadership, our current leadership, that there are women that, and not just say that we want women. Let's promote women that we see doing positive things and tell them to consider these women, because we think these are the women that we would like to have representing us. Politicians listen to numbers, and if we are serious about it, we as a community, we as a country, we have got to start making demands. Politicians come and make promises. What are the demands that we're making? And that's very
we as a community, we have to start making the demands, and we have got to prepare our daughters, our girls, to let them know that, you know, in life, we want you to be the best version of yourself, but we want you to have every opportunity that our sons have. We want to one day have a country where we're like Barbados, we're like Jamaica, where we do have a female prime minister, because this is where the decisions are made. Women are actually carrying the greatest burden of taking care of the families. Why are they not having the decisions to do those things in Parliament to make sure that all of the mechanisms that we need as survivors, as providers, as caregivers, why don't we have enough voices there to represent us?
So what would that proportionality and quotas that we spoke about earlier look like for you?
Some countries began at 30%, and I think a threshold of 30% is pretty reasonable. But I look at countries like Rwanda, which had genocide, which had all sorts of
setbacks
and challenges.
Yes.
And, you know, Rwanda was able, it was not easy, but Rwanda is one of the most successful countries in the African continent today, and they were able to achieve it through education. Education is key as well. We've got to make sure to let our people know that, you know, by educating our people, we become more open, we become more understanding of the fact that there is no way you can just disregard 50% of your population and reach your highest potential. 50% of our population, plus probably about 52%, is made up of females.
Correct.
We've got to be able to utilize that entire 52% and at least reach somewhere around 30 to 40% representation in Parliament. We're not doing badly. we're not doing badly because we are progressing. So I don't want to say that it's not good. It's great that we have days like this that recognize the importance of gender equality, gender inclusion, because when women excel, the whole community excels.
That is true. Well, thank you so much. Very powerful insights on representation on the road ahead in Parliament. It definitely requires a greater and lengthier discussion, but thank you so much, Mrs. Butler-Turner, for joining us here on What's Trending today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, still ahead on What's Trending, one local church celebrating more than a century of service. That and more after the break.
Hey, ladies, where's the Dave? Oh, okay, thanks. Bets.
Greg, what's up?
Ready, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
You up?
He's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right, well, I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Penitentiary sale now on to Independence.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Diet-friendly special.
St. Agnes Anglican Church is continuing its calendar of events in celebration of a major milestone, 180 years of ministry and community service. The celebrations are in full swing and are picking back up this week. Joining us is Andrew Albury, the Deputy Chairman of the Exhibition Committee, here to walk us through what's still to come. Welcome to What's Trending, Andrew.
And thank you for having us, and thank you for having St. Agnes.
Tell us, we understand that there is an exhibition at the Mall of Marathon this week. Can you tell us what we can expect from that?
Yes, thank you. So that exhibition is coming Thursday, July 3rd at 6 p.m. Center Court, Marathon Mall. And what you can expect is the history of St. Agnes from 1841 until the present day. And you will have a listing of all our rectors, their biographies, all the activities that would happen from that time to now, and also some of the persons who have attended St. Agnes over the period of 180 years.
On July 8th, the activities will continue with the William Edward Thompson Memorial Lecture Series, and this time you're featuring youth speakers. So where will the event be held, and what can you tell us about the voices who will be sharing at the event?
And so of course that event will be held at St. Agnes at the church, and it will feature all of our up-and-coming young people who will give a recall of what they remember of the history of the legacy of St. Agnes and where they find themselves today and their reflections on the way forward for the next 180 years. There'll be a variety of young people, personally, I'm so very proud of our young people St. Agnes.
And then we know on July 12th, that's actually
the actual date.
Big day. So what do you have planned for that special day?
So that date, we'll have, of course, the exhibition will come in the community of being in Grantstown, so those persons who weren't able to get to the mall, and again, the exhibition at the mall starts July 3rd, goes through July 8th. So come out, if you don't make the 3rd, make it through the 7th, 8th, 5th, 6th. But on the evening of the 12th, or the day of the 12th, we start at 9 a.m. church service. On Saturday morning, we have the dedication festival, the dedication day being July 12th. And then, of course, we'll have a prayer brunch, and we'll have two speakers, Father Roderick Bain and Father Father Dr. Ethan Ferguson, that's St. Barnabas and Holy Cross, will be part of that discussion. And then we'll go into sip and paint. We'll have the exhibition. And if you know St. Agnes, we'll have some tricks for you. We can have some things to cause you to get
like
excited.
A party.
So if it's not a party, it's not St. Agnes.
I know.
It's a Holy Ghost party, though. It's a Holy Ghost party. Yeah.
Well, that definitely sounds good. And the celebrations don't stop there, though. On July 13th, you're closing out your calendar of events with more activities. What can folks look forward to on that day?
And so, of course, this is our time to give thanks. And so we have the Dedication Festival, the actual service on that evening. And we're inviting all persons, not just in Agnes, to come out and celebrate with us.
Do persons need tickets, or can they just show up and join in the celebration?
And the good thing about all these events that we're talking about now, they're all free.
Wonderful.
And not only are they only free, but we have refreshments at pretty much all of the events we mentioned.
Free and food, too?
Free and food, too. It's an Agnes. It's a party. Certainly, yeah. So we encourage everybody to come on out to St. Agnes.
Thank you, Andrew, so much for joining us here on What's Trending today. We wish you and the St. Agnes family, again, celebrating 180 years, the greatest success in your events to come and in years to come.
And thank you for having us. And we say, we give God the glory.
Amen. Well, we're diving into the wild, weird, and can't miss moments, lighting up your feed from viral videos to trending takes. We've got the Scrolls stopping scoop. Don't go anywhere.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer, Mark, crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
The Bahamas Beauties got the hottest headlines, viral moments, and trending topics lighting up your timeline. Today, she's diving into the world of sports, and trust, the takes are just as spicy as the stats.
This year's NBA draft sure gave us a lot to talk about. Ace Bailey, the high-flying Rutgers star, took an unusual step leading up to the draft. Bailey skipped all individual workouts, holding only a private combine for all 30 teams. His agent reportedly told both the Hornets and Jazz that Bailey would not report if they drafted him. It's widely believed that his camp was aiming for a bigger market team that could offer an immediate star role like the Wizards, Pelicans, or Nets. Despite the warning, Utah selected him 5th overall in the 2025 NBA draft. And during it, Bailey's face spoke volumes. Jazz GM Danny Ainge and owner Ryan Smith held firm, making it clear that they weren't changing course. However, yesterday, the Utah Jazz posted to their Instagram Ace's arrival to Utah, attending the rookie press conference and practicing at the team's facilities. During the press conference, when asked about whether he was withholding from the team, Bailey denied the accusations and said that he was blessed to be a part of the team. DeAndre Ayton is on the move again. He and the Blazers agreed to a contract buyout, ending his time in Portland and allowing him to hit unrestricted free agency immediately. The center reportedly told the team that he wanted to play in a winning environment and not be a part of a rebuild. With this move, Portland clears $35.6 million on their salary sheet and gains roster and cap flexibility heading into free agency. The team will focus on developing younger centers and possibly add veterans in other positions. Now a top free agent center, even with his $35 million plus deal, he's free to sign with any team, including those with tight cap space, thanks to off-season waiver rules. Teams like the Lakers, Warriors, Celtics, Bucks, and others with center needs are already circling. Get ready for the ultimate celebrity wedding extravaganza. And yes, I'm talking about the Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez jaw-dropping I Do in Venice. It was a whirlwind of glitz, glam, drama, and even a pajama party finale. The lovebirds tied the knot on June 27th on a beautiful island in Venice, a 3-day Mediterranean celebration that locals won't forget. The event racked up a multi-million-dollar price tag, estimates ranging from $16 million to as much as $50 million. Practically pennies to the billionaire. Lauren turned heads with at least 3 jaw-dropping ensembles, including a hand-appliqued Dolce & Gabbana lace gown, 900 hours in the making. The guest list reads like an A-list wish list. Oprah, Gayle, Tom Brady, the Kardashians, Leonardo DiCaprio, Usher, plus Bill Gates, and Orlando Bloom. The list was endless. The spectacle was pure Hollywood, but the real highlight, a pajama-themed after-party, complete with DJ Cassidy, Usher, plush slippers, fancy robes, and dance vibes until 4 a.m. Guests received custom Venetian gift bags with artisan glassware and designer slippers. The ladies, plush Amazon ones, and the gents got royal blue velvet versions. Bezos also donated 2 million euros to local conservation projects and sourced roughly 80% of supplies from Venetian vendors. But not everything was rosy. No space for Bezos. Protests sprang up with locals decreeing high costs, security clampdowns, and environmental impact. Protesters even floated inflatable crocodiles in the waterways in an attempt to scare them off. Venice's mayor defended the event, citing millions in tourism and service revenue generated by this ultra-posh affair. Despite the mayhem, the couple sailed off yesterday, leaving behind a city buzzing with stories, paparazzi, and a hashtag-ready party legend.
Diet-friendly special.
Just what is it that you want to do? And we want to have a good time. We want to be free to do what we want to do.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
On Tuesday's show, it's all about sharing the love one bottle at a time. We're sitting down with a rep from Caribbean Bottling Company to talk about the Share a Coke campaign and how you can get in on the fun. Don't miss it. They say parting is such sweet sorrow, and today is a bittersweet moment for us here at the Broadcasting Corporation. Our Deputy General Manager of Human Resources, Ms. Linda Sands, is preparing to begin her pre-retirement leave. Ms. Sands has dedicated more than 4 decades of her life to the corporation, having joined us straight out of high school. Today, we pause to say thank you for a stellar career and for being a true pillar of strength to colleagues in both times of joy and sorrow. Under her care, the efficiency and reach of the Human Resources Department has grown tremendously, leaving a lasting legacy that won't soon be forgotten. This is What's Trending, small way of giving you your flowers while you're here and letting you know how deeply you're appreciated. Whatever the next chapter brings, Ms. Sands, we hope it's filled with rest, joy, and everything you deserve. Be sure to catch up with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS for all the latest buzz. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. for more lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. I'm Jiminita Swain. See you tomorrow.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. The Consumer Protection Commission is boasting a recovery rate of 56.63%. Also, a new non-stop air service to begin between Fort Lauderdale and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. And later, both hopefuls under the F&M banner for West Grand Bahama and Bimini hear what they say, and current sitting member of Parliament weighs in.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Consumer Protection Commission is boasting a recovery rate of 56.63% so far this year after recouping funds for consumers in response to customer complaints. Cleopatra Murphy has tonight's top story.
The Consumer Protection Commission has recovered more than $100,000 for consumers from the start of the year to early June. Chairman of the Consumer Protection Commission, Senator Randy Roll, recently updated the Senate on the body's efforts to protect consumer rights during his contribution to the 2025-2026 fiscal budget debate.
So far for this year, the CPC has processed 206,391.86 in claims and have recouped, Madam President, 116,872.57, all refunded back in the pocket of consumers.
That monetary sum comes from some 139 complaints that have been processed, as Roll shares the Commission is primed to surpass the number of complaints processed last year. From this year's numbers, 22 were advice given to consumers.
10 were referrals to other agencies, and 107 were disputes between consumers and providers that fall under the CPC's remit. Madam President, the ever-capable CPC team has resolved some 45 matters to date.
An additional 62 are being investigated. While complaints against couriers, auto parts stores, and contractors have dropped, Roll says most of the remaining complaints surround timeshares or beauty aid disputes.
Some of the other complaints we often hear include overcharged goods, under-delivered orders, unfinished work, poor quality of work, poor customer service, services not rendered, expired items being sold and shipped to the family islands.
Not forgetting Grand Bahama, the Commission chairman says it will launch an educational campaign on contracts, loans, housing, health services, and fair pricing. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
For the island of Abaco, a new non-stop air service to begin between Fort Lauderdale and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. This comes weeks following Silver Airways' pullout from several islands throughout the Bahamas. The Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation releasing a statement noting that they are pleased to announce that Aztec Airways will now offer new air service between Fort Lauderdale and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. This significant enhancement to air travel to the Bahamas begins this month with Aztec Airways operating daily flights between its private terminal at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport and Leonard M. Thompson International Airport in Abaco. According to the statement, the additional flights will provide greater flexibility for business travel, leisure trips, making it easier than ever to explore the natural beauty, vibrant culture, and unique charm that Abaco, the boating capital of the Bahamas, has to offer. The Deputy Prime Minister says that we are delighted by Aztec Airways' decision to expand their service, offering daily flights between Fort Lauderdale and Abaco. He adds that this direct, consistent service will not only streamline travel for our guests, but also serves as a powerful catalyst for our local economy, fostering more tourism and investment opportunities in Abaco. In other news, in the ongoing 2025-2026 budget debate, Senator James Turner has voiced full support for the Davis administration's fiscal agenda, praising key initiatives aimed at strengthening food security and driving private sector growth, especially in Grand Bahama. Among them, Turner commended the government for bold and necessary moves, including the government's firm stance to the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
The first government to stand up to the Grand Bahama Port Authority in a meaningful way and remind all of everyone's obligations to Freeport and the residents of Freeport, Lucaya. Madam President, I don't need to hang around the Ministry of Economic Affairs to know that the economy is expanding. I'm from Grand Bahama, where I've been through so many storms that I know what contraction feels like. So I can tell you this is a whole different feeling now.
Turner also highlighting what he calls a renewed sense of investor confidence in the island of Grand Bahama, crediting recent moves like the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort and the island's growing role in the global travel markets.
I saw investment opportunities being created. I now see new jobs. I see new opportunities. I see the rebounding of Grand Bahama on the horizon. These global travels have brought opportunities back to Grand Bahama. We know that what will be presented in Lucaya, it will change the whole face of tourism in Grand Bahama. This is what global travel has afforded us. So how dare one speak ill of global travel when it affects family islanders positively?
On to some sad news. Police on Grand Bahama are investigating yet another suicide attempt after an employee at an establishment off Grand Bahama Highway found a man hanging from a tree by his neck on the outside of the property Saturday. Authorities say the discovery was made shortly before 11:50 p.m. The man was taken down, and when officers arrived on the scene, an individual was performing CPR on the unconscious man. The man was transported to the hospital by EMS, where he is being treated.
And still to come.
When we come back, a mix of mouth-watering cuisine and family-friendly fun took center stage at the Food Truck Festival. That story and more when we return.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
From July 2nd through the 10th, Grand Bahama is the place to be. Don't miss the Welcoming Home Grand Cultural Festival in downtown Freeport, Saturday, July 5th, beginning at 7 p.m. Bahamian food, arts and crafts, kids corner, and live performances by Recon Bahamas, Sherrod Taylor, Nishi LS, Avi, and DMAC. Go to ministryforgb.com for the full welcoming calendar of events. From July 2nd through the 10th, Grand Bahama is the place to be. Don't miss the Welcoming Home Grand Cultural Festival in downtown Freeport, Saturday, July 5th, beginning at 7 p.m. Bahamian food, arts and crafts, kids corner, and live performances by Recon Bahamas, Sherrod Taylor, Nishi LS, Avi, and DMAC. Go to ministryforgb.com for the full welcoming calendar of events.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Just 50 miles off the coast of Florida lies a destination unlike any other. Welcome to Resorts World Bimini in the Bahamas, where vibrant culture means endless adventure. Relax on pristine beaches, savor Caribbean flavors, and sun-filled hotel stays. Whether it's a tranquil escape, night at the casino, or a weekend full of thrills, Bimini feels like a world away, but closer than you ever imagined. Your journey begins here, Resorts World Bimini.
Here are some tips for having your home ready for a hurricane. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Bring in all outdoor furniture, plants, or any other items that may become airborne due to high winds. Cover windows and doors with hurricane shutters or pre-cut plywood. Clear drains and gutters. And remember to secure important documentation in case you have to evacuate. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. The Free National Movement unveiling 17 candidates last week. Among them, Omar Isaacs, who will carry the banner for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini under the F&M ticket. Tonight, he, along with hopeful Daquan Swain, talk about the way forward, while current MP Kingsley Smith says that the constituency will remain PLP. The Free National Movement officially announcing its candidates set to run in the upcoming general election on June 26 during an event held on Mackey Street in New Providence. One of the closely watched constituencies, West Grand Bahama and Bimini, a progressive Liberal Party stronghold, is where Omar Isaacs has recovered the nod under the F&M banner. Isaacs described his ratification as a dream come true and a moment that brought his life full circle.
I have been a civil servant for 15 years, and during that same 15 years I started off my whole professional journey and career as an entrepreneur in West Grand Bahama with Powerhouse Gym. I had my feet firmly planted for the past 20 years in both public and private sectors.
Isaacs, who has worked as a project manager and consultant for various startup companies, outlined several key priorities should he be elected.
We have convenience stores and little mom and pop stores, but there should be some food services so that we can sustain ourselves. How about we put forward a Bahamian-owned entity like a ground handling service company so that they can be contracted for the new Bimini International Airport.
But once it was revealed that Isaacs received the nod, the announcement did not go without strong backlash. Former independent candidate Daquan Swain also threw his hat in the race under the F&M banner for West Grand Bahama and Bimini after holding several community initiatives in the area. Through a statement, noted that the party has chosen to go a different route, but he accepted it with grace.
We were on the ground for months, I would say years, because we've been doing work in West Grand Bahama and Bimini literally for years. So, we have connected with people, we've built relationships, we have invested in the community. So, we just thought that it would be a different outcome. But serving people, it's something that would always be in my DNA.
But for the community of West Grand Bahama, these residents posed this question.
Isaac, I don't know him like that. I heard about him on a show was on the other night.
Meanwhile, a member of Parliament Kingsley Smith says he has no doubt that West Grand Bahama and Bimini will remain with the PLP.
People of West Grand Bahama and Bimini is still asking, who is Omar Isaac? Who is this guy? Everybody knows who is Kingsley Smith. But this is something I always was saying. The Free National Movement does not have West Grand Bahama and Bimini best interests at heart.
A mix of mouth-watering cuisine, family-friendly fun, and local entrepreneurs took center stage on Tino Beach over the weekend as the Ministry of Tourism rolled out its second annual Food Truck Festival aimed at uniting the community and boosting economic activity in Grand Bahama. Raven Davis was there and has all the action in this report.
Tino Beach Park is sizzling with flavor and fun as the Ministry of Tourism's Food Truck Festival returned for a second year now. From loaded plates to lively games, it's a full-on experience for the whole family.
11 food vendors participating, many returning from last year's festival, each offering something unique that attracted a steady crowd throughout the day.
Should be bigger and better, and that my expectation for the day is great. The kids actually run here. They actually run here to come inside, and they hate to leave.
And, these are the things that we need to have more of, especially on the island, especially with all the investments and stuff that are coming with tourism.
So we have guava duff, mango duff, and blueberry duff.
We decided to participate to get Sweet Swirl's name out there so you guys can see the products that we have to offer.
We hope to have a good crowd so that people can still know that we are open. We have boba teas, fraps, iced coffees.
It does stimulate the economy, gives people a chance to know the food trucks that are out there, gives a chance to know our establishment as well.
But while food was certainly a highlight, the lively atmosphere was also complemented by entertainment.
Over there enjoying the festivities so far. I got some chicken strips and fries. My lady, she got sweet and sour wings with pancakes. It's amazing.
I'm here for the festival to taste the different food.
Conch salad is #1, but I've gotten a little bougie and I like tropical conch salad, so I'm hoping to get that.
So excited to actually have something going on. This is so cool.
And with temperatures running high, the Bahamas Red Cross was also on hand to ensure safety and provide hydration for those in attendance.
So far, it's been a good day, and we expect it to continue that way. No incidents, no injuries, just everybody having a good time.
Officials say events like these help stimulate economic activity while also promoting Grand Bahama's culture and creativity.
This is our second annual event, and from what I've seen so far, it's definitely growing and has more room to grow.
Organizers say the plan is to grow the festival even more in the years ahead, hoping to make it a signature event on the island's tourism calendar. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
And now to look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Well, Swim Nationals took place this past weekend. A number of teams from Grand Bahama took part in the Swim Nationals. Mako Aquatics, man. Julanda Mako Aquatics. They are the real deal.
I can imagine. Sports is up next after this break.
Walk, run, or cycle in the Ministry for Grand Bahama's Welcoming Home 5K Road Race and Health Fair on Saturday, July 5th, beginning at 6 a.m. at the Harold de Gregory Complex. Bring the family for a morning of fitness, fun, and culture. Get free health screenings after the race and purchase a healthy breakfast from participating vendors. Registration is free. Go to ministryforgb.com to register today.
Here at Island Bedding, we provide Bahamians a local option for factory direct quality sleep products. We have also expanded to include a range of furniture and home accessories. Check out our new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe. Located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinarian.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Cocta termites former Salmus, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Welcoming Home. Get ready, Grand Bahama. The Welcoming Home Grand Expo and Empowerment Seminar is coming July 4th, 2025. Join us at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a day of inspiration, information, and opportunity. Hear key updates from the government and connect with top investors, entrepreneurs, and business leaders. Whether you're returning home or looking to grow your vision, this is your moment. The future of Grand Bahama is now. Be a part of it. That's Friday, July 4th at the Grand Lucayan. Don't miss it. Grand Bahama, it's the time of celebration. The Bahama Brass Band presents With a Shout, Wheel March, celebrating a combined 170 years of service, duty, and music ministry, 100 years Nassau, and 70 years Grand Bahama, with special guests, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force Band, female contingent. Tickets are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. It's all happening at 7 p.m. Grand Lucayan Ballroom, Saturday, the 26th of July, 2025. With a shout, Wheel March.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Top. As Sports Mako Aquatics dominated the swim nationals in New Providence, the club came back with 129 gold medals, 83 silver, and 68 bronze medals for a total and a first-place finish.
I would say it was an okay nationals, and I got 6 medals, 4 gold from 3 relays, 1 individual, and 1 bronze, 1 silver individual.
It was a fun experience, made some new friends. Although I didn't medal, I just went and I PB'd in all my races. I took off time in every event I swam, and I really want to thank my coaches for really pushing me to do the best that I can.
It made me feel amazing that the training and the hard work pays off to the glory of God, and that I could actually put the training to work.
My experience at Nationals was good. I didn't really get the PBs that I wanted, but it was good for what I was striving for. Competition was kind of difficult, especially seeing all the swimmers striving towards good results.
From the pool to the soccer pitch, the Grand Bahama Soccer Club continuing on with its soccer summer camp at the YMCA field. This time it was the all-boys soccer camp.
Well, it's been a fantastic week. Coach Mary puts her heart and soul in this. She gets college coaches over from America just to help the kids and have a different face and a different voice. The kids are brilliant too. They've worked so hard in really hot conditions. So it's been a fantastic camp. It's fun, teaching fundamentals and trying to grow their skill level, but in a fun environment.
And last in sports, the Sophie Rubens basketball summer camp wrapped up on the weekend at the Pine Ridge Urban Renewal Center basketball court. It's the 48th year that Coach Softly has hosted this camp on Grand Bahama and also in Bimini. Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
What is Business Fit? Business Fit is a group health insurance package offered by BAF Financial. What are some of the benefits of Business Fit? No deductible, dental and vision care, hospital room and board, surgical treatment, labs, medication and drugs, maternity, doctors, clinics, specialist visits, chemotherapy and radiation treatment, air and ground ambulance, and preventative care. Business Fit, offered by BAF Financial.
Welcoming home. Get ready, Grand Bahama. The Welcoming Home Grand Expo and Empowerment Seminar is coming July 4th, 2025. Join us at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a day of inspiration, information, and opportunity. Hear key updates from the government and connect with top investors, entrepreneurs, and business leaders. Whether you're returning home or looking to grow your vision, this is your moment. The future of Grand Bahama is now. Be a part of it. That's Friday, July 4th at the Grand Lucayan. Don't miss it.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
From July 2nd through the 10th, Grand Bahama is the place to be. Don't miss the Welcoming Home Grand Cultural Festival in downtown Freeport, Saturday, July 5th, beginning at 7 p.m. Bahamian food, arts and crafts, kids corner, and live performances by Recon Bahamas, Sherrod Taylor, Nishi LS, Avi, and DMAC. Go to ministryforgb.com for the full welcoming calendar of events.
In the heart of the Bahamas, there once lay an unassuming island, scarred, forgotten, left behind by industry. A place that had given so much, but had been abandoned in return. It took a family whose legacy is deeply intertwined with the sea to see its potential. They saw not just an island, but possibilities. To replace abandonment and desolation with life and beauty. The transformation of Ocean Key was a collective effort, bringing together skilled workers, artisans, builders, and conservationists, combining passionate visionaries with Bahamian expertise, ensuring that Ocean Key was not just a paradise, but a source of opportunity.
A new era is dawning in Grand Bahama. An opportunity, it's knocking louder than ever. Introducing Tract B, Bahama Reef Yacht and Country Club, Unit 1. A prime corner commercial property, footsteps from the Port Lucayo Marketplace, crystal clear waters and white sandy beaches. This expansive 4.8-acre tract is zoned for commercial and multi-use development. Envision a thriving restaurant, a boutique hotel, or an entertainment hub unique to your vision come to life. You can live, work, play and learn in paradise when you seize this rare opportunity today. Collaborate with DEVCO and let's shape the future of Grand Bahama Island together.
Your number one team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the north. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Yolanda Thompson-Everest.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight starts now.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a joint operation leads to a hefty fine for the police, and they're counting on intel from one man to tell the backstory. Plus, the Chinese embassy makes good on an annual donation. Hear who's on the receiving end of its benevolence. And the Bahamas gains itself an even bigger voice on an international human rights commission. Find out who's been given the prestigious role and what he or she brings to the table. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight. Tonight, law enforcement are calling a recent operation uncovering an assortment of weapons, ammunition, a huge success. Today, before members of the press, they showed off this significant find in hopes of demonstrating to the public that those who attempt to violate the law will be brought down. Corwell Pyfrom starts us off tonight. Corwell?
The firearms, marijuana, and ammunition were seized in a single operation this past Friday. And while police are holding the details of that operation close to the vest tonight, they were more than happy to show off what it yielded earlier today. Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles made no bones about showing off what she considers a considerable find for law enforcement. A joint operation with police and customs netting more than 24 illegal firearms, many of them high-powered weapons with the potential to cause considerable damage and harm, ammunition, and thousands of dollars worth, as well as marijuana. The operation started Friday afternoon and ended soon after, the commissioner telling the press late Monday afternoon that at least one person is in custody.
Around 3 p.m., we began the operation, and shortly before 5 p.m., we stopped a vehicle in the western portion of New Providence. Upon searching that vehicle, which contained a number of household appliances, we found what you see here today.
The contents were hidden in household appliances like stoves, refrigerators, microwaves, and others.
In this haul, we have 25 weapons that were recovered. 2 of them are revolvers, 11 of them are pistols, 1 of which is a ghost gun, 12 of them are rifles, 9 of which are ghost guns, and of course 29 magazines.
The ammunition seized totals more than 5,000 rounds.
240 rounds of .40 ammunition, 3,081 rounds of .9 millimeter ammunition, 837 rounds of 7.62 ammunition, 50 rounds of 38 ammunition, and 143 rounds of 300 ammunition.
The commissioner stressing just how potentially lethal these weapons could have been if in the wrong hands.
We don't need these kinds of weapons on our street because they will certainly continue to create fear and can, if we know in the hands of the wrong people and in places where there are large crowds, can cause plenty havoc.
There was also a substantial seizure of marijuana in that same operation.
44 packages of suspected marijuana with a total weight of 49.6 pounds with a street value of 198.
Commissioner Knowles using what we saw here today as a chance to say to would-be criminals and criminals that believe that they can smuggle illegal firearms and drugs into the country, 2 words: think again. Reporting from police headquarters for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom. Let's go back in studio to you.
Well, thanks, Corvell. Meantime, another bloody weekend on the streets of New Providence, one that's left a family grieving the death of a woman in her 20s, and this while 2 others were wounded. Lloyd Allen has the story.
A triple shooting taking place over the weekend, resulting in the death of a female shortly before 10 p.m. on Sunday. Police confirming that the 3 victims were at a residence near White Alley off Wolf Road when 2 men on foot approached them and opened fire. 2 of the victims, a female and juvenile, were transported to hospital. Their conditions remain unknown. Now, the third, a female, identified as 26-year-old Ishniqua Kalmar, was described as a quiet entrepreneur, was reportedly discovered by her father, Ishmael Kalmar, who told ZNS News his daughter was just weeks away from her 27th birthday on July 23rd.
He was a very humble child. You know, don't want to hair work and stuff like that. Doesn't know one business, always stay to herself.
That really hurts me. That hurts me. That hurts me. That hurts me.
And the last time I spoke with her, God, my birthday coming up, I said, ain't no baby, you know. But she asked me, I said, you got the birthday cake for you. I said, you got that for you. That's the last thing she tell me.
The shooting comes 1 week after 21-year-old Harold Burrows was shot and killed on Taylor Drive, East Street South, and the week prior, Police Reserve Lennox Williams also gunned down. That shooting, according to police, an attempted robbery turned fatal. As investigations continue, police also appealing to the public for anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Now, during this afternoon's press briefing at police headquarters, officer in charge of criminal investigations and special operations assistant commissioner Anton Ramming provided an update on the victims from Sunday's triple shooting.
One of those individuals we know succumbed on scene, a 27-year-old female who was injured at that location. Also, there was a 13-year-old male who was also shot and taken to the hospital, shot to the leg. There was also a 19-year-old female that was also shot to the chest and the right side. That individual, both individuals are still detained in hospital, and we are told at this time that they are both in stable condition.
ACP Ramming says police are following significant leads and are hoping that surveillance will also assist their investigations.
Certainly, if there are cameras in that area, we will seek to get that information so that we can see how best that can assist us with the investigation, which we are now carrying on with.
Chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, Fred Mitchell, warns Bahamians to approach with caution before accepting the truth of anything on social media. This in light of a recent fake release claiming the government plans to step away from the Caribbean community, otherwise known as CARICOM. Mitchell says, make no mistake about it, the Bahamas continues to be a full-fledged member of CARICOM.
This has been circulating for weeks, and the Office of the Prime Minister had issued a statement clearly debunking it. When you look at the document, it's clearly fake, bad grammar, poorly written. And the Bahamas government would not make a monumental decision of that kind without consulting the Bahamian public.
The Bahamas became a member of CARICOM on July 4th, 1963, under the leadership, 1983 rather, under the leadership of Sir Lyndon Pinley.
We participate in all of the organs of CARICOM, including the University of the West Indies, the SEDERA, which is the Emergency Management Association, CARILEC, which deals with electricity, the Council on Legal Education, the Medical Council, all of those things, and in foreign policy. And so there's no question of withdrawing from CARICOM. It's false, and I hope that puts an end to it, really.
Coming up, an F&M candidate's medical office vandalized. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. That and more in a moment.
If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse, the people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Irresistible taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. ATC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
You again today?
Yes, ma'am, Miss Villa. It's me again, but not for another household expenditure survey. As promised, your $70 voucher.
Money never come too late. Here I come. Come, girl.
Smell, I just want to take the time out to thank you for your willingness, for your participation in this household expenditure survey.
It was my pleasure. I'm going to take my gift certificate. I'm going to buy my fruits and vegetables. Thank you, Jesus.
Everything that you share with BNSI stays private by law. We don't name names. We just count what matters. All that we ask is that you be honest. Finish the survey so we can truly represent our communities.
Complete your household expenditure survey and receive your $70 food or gas voucher. Wait.
What you doing, man?
Oh, you didn't know it? Popeye's giving up the $5,000 for summer, dog.
Stop that!
All you gotta do is purchase a NOLA box, any Popeye's location. You can even enter online to win a NOLA box. What is this? That's a chicken sandwich, 2 tenders, fries, apple pie, drink for $13.95.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
You're looking at a shot of the British Colonial Hotel that underwent a major refurbishment that concluded with its reopening on December 18th, 2023. That shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Neville Smith. Well, 17 candidates out the gate for the Free National Movement, but what do prospective voters make of the first cut? Just listen in.
Election of candidates, you know, I must admit, and I hope that they go a long way and be successful.
I would prefer the newer candidates, even though you still have to put in some elderly ones for more experience, and they have more knowledge, so they can pass it on. But I think the new generation, you know, they have more energy, they have more better ideas.
For some, lack of awareness is the biggest concern, and that's not just in terms of the names announced, but about who's running in their constituency. Georgette Albury from Killarney offers up her thoughts on what she wishes to see in her area.
We've always had a good MP. My MP was Dr. Menace, but the FNM did advise that they will not be running him this time. So yes, I'd like to see Senator Michael Barnett run in that constituency.
Meantime, newly ratified Free National Movement candidate for Fox Hill, Dr. Nicholas Fox, forced to pick up the pieces after his medical office was ransacked during the early morning hours. The perpetrator reportedly came through a hole cut in the ceiling. We're told iPads used for patient information as well as patient files were flung to the floor. The culprits also tried to get into Dr. Fox's personal computer. Our news team understands they stole about $2,000 in cash. Dr. Fox says his staff made the discovery. When he arrived, he was shocked to see the state of his office. The police have since visited the scene, taken statements, and dusted the place for fingerprints.
The mood in here is one of disappointment. I've just been ratified 4 days ago. And this seems to be associated with my ratification. I don't understand why somebody would rob a doctor's office. It's just counterproductive. But I think this is a means of intimidation for me, maybe to throw my hat back and give up. But I'm not intimidated. I'm not afraid. I'm in this to win this. So it's just forward movement from here. And I am strong, and I won't let this deter me.
A huge win for local human rights expert and, by extension, the Bahamas' decades-long advocate for the rights of Bahamian women and girls, Marian Bethel, has ascended to an esteemed international post. Bethel was elected Commissioner of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, a principal and autonomous organ of the Organization of American States. The whole mission of the IACHR is to promote and protect human rights in this hemisphere. Now, according to Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, the government is beyond pleased.
Marian Bethel has been an active Bahamian citizen in favor of human rights for a long period of time, serving mainly on women and family issues. And I'm sure she's going to bring her strengths as a lawyer to this body. We thank our CARICOM colleagues for supporting her, and we know she's going to do well on behalf of the country.
Bethel will serve as commissioner for the 3-year term of 2026 to 2029. Ambassador-designate of the Republic of Korea to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, His Excellency Sang-Ru Lee, set to leave the Bahamas tomorrow after commemorating a special milestone between the two countries.
Well, we've had relations with Korea, South Korea, as it's colloquially called, for 40 years. This marks the 40th year. And the ambassador and ourselves wanted to mark this in a special way, so he's paying a visit here. And there'll be a reception and an exchange of speeches at the reception.
Well, as you just heard, a reception in Lee's honor taking place, and that's just this evening at the British Colonial Hotel, all in an effort to strengthen the bond and hopefully pave the way to new opportunities.
We look forward to signing a memorandum of understanding between the two countries. with a way forward on improving our ties. They've, provided support for diplomatic training, for example, for people who wanted to go to university. We have at least one Korean-speaking Bahamian now as a result of going to university there. So all in all, it's been great.
Meantime, the Chinese embassy in the Bahamas making a major donation to the disabled community. The embassy today handed over 7 wheelchairs, 10 mobility aids, and 14 walking canes. Wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, and Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Miles Larota, says the gifts will go a long way towards enhancing the mobility of persons with disabilities.
And the supplies being handed over today, they symbolize more than just material contributions. They're a beacon of hope and a tangible representation of commitments to enable persons with disabilities to live with dignity and opportunity.
I thank again the Chinese embassy and the people of the Republic of China for their continued contributions to the most vulnerable of our society. I thank the First Lady for championing her cause just about every event.
The Chinese ambassador says China remains committed to the continued advancement of persons with disability here in the Bahamas.
China has a population of 85 million people with disabilities. We have a population of 1.4 billion people. So we also have, a large population of persons with disabilities. And China also attaches great importance to the development and protection of persons with disabilities. China's people-centered approach to human rights protection emphasizes that a happy life for the people is the greatest human right.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Did you know you could send a local bank transfer to a $1 wallet? It's the same as sending a transfer to an account at another local bank. Simply use the wallet's 12-digit top-up address as the account number, savings as the account type, Central Bank of the Bahamas as the bank, and $1 as the branch with branch code or transit number 12,000. Don't use urgent or priority delivery. Transfers to $1 wallets are processed through the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse Network within 1 business day.
Are you straight?
Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you on a live? Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive fiber services when you port your landline.
Bahama Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Things
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
The Bahamas carving time out for a National Day of Prayer and Reflection, and this ahead of it celebrating National Flag Day on Tuesday, July 1st. That's tomorrow. That's the kickoff to 10 continuous days of celebrations by wearing national colors, aquamarine, gold and black in the community and the workplace. Flag raising ceremonies will be held at 9 a.m. across the country and at Bahamian foreign missions. Now, as the country gears up to celebrate 52 years of independence on Thursday, July 10th, a series of celebrations will occur. Flag Day will be succeeded by National Day of the Family, National Wellness Day, and National Pride Day. Saturday, July 5th is National Culture Day, and Sunday, National Church Day of Prayer. Next Monday is National Day of Unity, followed by the National Day of Service, the Ecumenical Service and Cultural Event at Clifford Park beginning at 8 p.m. on July 9th, followed by the People's Rush Junkanoo Parade. On the afternoon of Thursday, July 10th, there's an open invitation to bring the entire family to Clifford Park for a National Family Fun Day. We have a full slate of national events going on. The country's 52nd anniversary. I'm sure we'll hear a bit about all that as it approaches in the Access Now. But for now, LaDonna Malena, what's up?
Well, Makushla, you can't smell it, but we can kind of smell the aroma. We're going to be baking cakes here in studio. I think Malena
decorating that. Something like, all I know is there's cake
baking.
Here. We're hungry. We're ready. I've never done it before, so we'll see how it comes out. But looking forward to it.
Oh, you lucky ladies, you. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Diet-friendly special.
Man, this ain't making no sense, man. How people making it out here, Dre?
If you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you gotta learn how to budget. First, write down all of your income. Then, list out all of your expenses. And don't forget to save. Stop throwing away money. Put something aside for savings. And get this, government savings bonds can safely grow your money. So start budgeting, save your coins, and invest smart. Financial independence, wait. Financial independence, wait. Learn how to invest in government savings bonds on the Central Bank of the Bahamas website.
Only one item? Are you tired of limited choices? I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you. Wow! So many choices. Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is digital.
Happy Independence Bahamas! Let's celebrate 50+1 together with a unique Janae's Uniform Center Independence print, dry fit polo or t-shirts, ribbons and pole bows in black, gold, and aquamarine. Janae's special family package includes buy 2 adults and 3 children Independence polos or t-shirts and get 15% off. Outfit your staff for a special Independence dress of week or day with a different design. For more than 30 pieces of Janae's Independence polos or t-shirts, get up to 25% discount. Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road Independence Selections. Choose your favorite and celebrate 50+1.
Well, that does it for the national report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
As a professional graphic artist, I work from anywhere in the world. When I travel, I try to keep up with my paperwork and bills as much as possible, utilizing NIB's ESS, or Employee Self-Service Portal, to submit my monthly payments and to upload my contribution statement makes life easier. The portal is pretty easy to use too. I consider it to be user-friendly. It asks all the necessary questions to guide me through uploading my contribution statement, and I like that it calculates my payments. The NIB representative who showed me how to use the portal, she was patient, friendly, and knowledgeable. I used to fill out my contribution statement manually and visit an NIB office every month to make payments. But now the ESS portal allows for the entire process to be completed online in a time-efficient manner. Like, yay, thank you, that's done. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
Conducting an extensive promotion campaign for the Bahamas across the length and breadth of Canada. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, spoke to the increasing number of air connections with our neighbor up north.
We took the opportunity to meet with all of our air partners, WestJet, Sunwing Vacations that service Grand Bahama, and of course Air Canada. All of these airlines are looking to see how they may ramp up service to the Bahamas. We want to ensure that as we service Nassau now and with a great number of flights, that we are able to do so as well in Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, and on the other islands. At the moment, we have Air Canada going to St. Salvador and Nassau. We hope that we are able to increase the network to ensure that all of our islands are really feeling the boost from Canada.
Director General of the Ministry of Tourism, Latia Duncombe, gave further details on the growth of visitors traveling from Canada to the Bahamas.
The relationship in Canada has been extremely strong, and we've seen the numbers. Last year, 2024, those numbers increased by 50% when we compare it to 2023. The airlift from Canada is certainly phenomenal, and we're going to see in the fall 26 non-stop flights from Toronto into Nassau, Paradise Island. And so when those numbers continue to soar, you'd realize that this is some of the preliminary work that's being done all the time with our offices abroad.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
The 2025 Independence Beat Retreat is now history, stunners and all. Stay close for that.
And the Fox Hill community has teamed up with the Royal Bahamas Police Force and produced an amazing gospel concert. That's on tap straight ahead.
Plus, the gorgeous mentoring program is alive and doing well in Abaco.
And coming up in sports, new champions crowned in the Flag Football League.
The Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
We have a cute little story, a tale of little birdies, actually, Malena.
Some birdies with an interesting choice in real estate. Yeah. One employee's trip to the bathroom turned out to be the discovery of two birdies making a nest in the window of the female restroom here at BCB.
The nest was completed, and over the past 3 weeks, we watched one bird stay on that nest, and then two eggs appeared. Oh. Today, we are proud to say the eggs have hatched, and Mama Bird is very territorial with her babies. Congrats to the birdie parents. Let's dive right into news. Independence celebrations now in full swing with the annual Beat Retreat unfolding on Bay Street Sunday in a display of national pride. Here's Fern Carey.
Bahamian pride and culture were on full display Sunday as scores of residents packed Rawson and Parliament Squares and lined Bay Street for the Independence Beat Retreat. The event also bringing together senior government officials under the theme, Guarding Our Heritage with Loyalty, Integrity, and Courage. Spectators donned their national colors and waved Bahamian flags as they immersed themselves in the display of high-energy musical performances by the combined bands from the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Forces and the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Attendees also got a chance to see how law enforcement officers carry out their duties through skits, which showed Defense Force Marines interdictions on the high seas, police arresting the perpetrators, the judiciary executing justice, and criminals being incarcerated. Their efforts supported by a rousing performance of the song Crime Doesn't Pay by students from Yellow Elder Primary School. The National Children's Choir also paid tribute in song to entertainer the late Elon Moxie, who died back in March of this year. A flag-lowering ceremony at sunset then capped off the stellar celebration. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Thanks, Fern. Well, voices rise in unity this weekend as the Royal Bahamas Police Force teams up with the Fox Hill community for a gospel concert, kicking off pre-independence celebrations and strengthening the bond between officers and residents through music and fellowship. Police Sergeant Cyril Walks from Fox Hill Division says the concert not only allows individuals to engage in praise and worship, but also connect with fellow community members.
Today we're hosting the pre-independence concert called This Week Bahamian Praise. We just wanted to bring all of the local community groups, the police, the law enforcement choirs together under one space to sort of kickstart the pre-independence spirit in the community. And as you can see, everyone is enjoying it. Huge crowd.
Fox Hill resident and event committee member Georgette Gardner says that the concert provides the perfect opportunity to prove that police officers do in fact have good relations with citizens in the community and are constantly working on enhancing communication.
There are some stories saying that the residents and the police are not getting along, or some of the residents are not pleased with the police. But I'm telling you, after tonight, with more activities on board, there will be partnerships, there will be a lot of relationships built with both residents and the police of Fox Hill.
In just 3 years, the gorgeous mentoring program has grown from a small circle of girls in Abaco into a powerful sisterhood. Founded in 2022 by Assistant Chief Magistrate Ansela Evans and co-founder Hadassah Marsh, the initiative, named for its values, godly, outstanding, respectful, genuine, excellent, outspoken, unique, and smart, has already impacted dozens of lives across multiple settlements from Crossing Rocks to Dundas Town. And on a sponsored trip to Nassau this week, 30 girls and 14 mentors are getting hands-on exposure to national institutions and career paths, from touring the House of Assembly, ZNS, and even the Defense Force Base.
Well, when we first started, we started with about 15 girls, and we've watched those numbers grow. We train the girls in etiquette, self-esteem, even money management, and we invite leaders in industry to come and give presentations to the girls. And we've seen them grow intellectually. We've seen their self-esteem grow. We've seen them become far more articulate than they were when they first started.
Among the mentees is 12-year-old Elia Roberts from Marsh Harbor, who already has her sights set on entrepreneurship thanks to the program speakers.
Actually, my favorite topic, it would be entrepreneurship. There was a lady who came, and I actually got her number to help me get one of my goals that I want to accomplish in life, to have an online business. Things that have to do with like crochet and making clay things.
And I know that they're going to change the landscape because these young women are determined. They have learned how to set goals. They have learned how to pursue their education.
And still to come, the owner of Pastryville, Dion Penniman, joins us live in studio. Get your sweet tooth ready. Weather is also on the other side of the break, so keep it locked.
A classroom teacher for more than 2 decades, and she's now a published author. Janetta Taylor Gibson, principal of Sims Primary School in Long Island, recently released her book, My Jumpstart to Reading.
I am so proud that today is the first day that I get to release my book, and it's just so amazing that I have the director, the permanent secretary, our Minister of Education, and everyone here to be the first recipient of this book.
Taylor Gibson tells of the inspiration behind the book.
It was during the pandemic that one of my teachers said to me, Miss Taylor, you need to write a book to assist not only the students but also the teachers. So I am proud to say that this book will help teachers in the classroom. It will help parents because even some parents are delinquent in reading. And then it will help the students themselves. This book is actually a self-paced book that each child can work with it at their own pace.
And what's in the cards for the future?
My secretary is, she's pushing me to write the upper primary version because, of course, we focus on the phonics and that in lower primary, but we still need to continue to enforce the vocabulary and all of the skills from grades 4 all the way to grade 6. That's my goal, to get part B of the literacy book.
It only goes up from here. That'll do it for Ed Talk.
Saving money is tough until you shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kraft macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounces, $1.19. Kellogg's giant size cereals, assorted, 23 to 28 ounces, $6.39. Sweet peaches, $1.99 per pound. Whole chicken wings, $1.69 per pound. Super Value butane gas, 8 ounces, $1.99. Join the Super Value Quality Points program at any Super Value or Quality supermarkets.
It's time for your Access weather forecast, and we get you started with our live weather radar, and it is showing pockets of showers and thunderstorms across the 700 islands, and that's in association with a mid to upper level low that's sitting across the islands, and that will trigger showers in pockets. So all of us will not get it at the same time. So we advise that you keep your rain gears handy over the next 24 to 36 hours. And around the tropics, well, Barry has moved inland over Mexico, dissipated, but there's another area we're looking at. This one is in the southeastern parts of the United States, where a tropical depression or even a subtropical low could form over the next 7 days, and it's somewhere in the Florida panhandle that could happen. So we're keeping our eyes on that system over the next few days, and we will keep you posted. And your boating forecast tonight, well, it's brought to you by Live Business, where we simply bulk up your business in the northwestern islands tonight. Southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Now your high tide, that will take place at 49 minutes past midnight. For the central islands, the winds are going to be southeast at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So caution flags are in place for boaters in the central Bahamas. Now for the southeastern islands tonight, east to southeast winds even a little stronger at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights at 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. So we also asking small craft in the southeast Bahamas to exercise caution. And then as we take into Tuesday and Wednesday in the northwestern islands, that persistent southeasterly flow will remain in place at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 7:18 in the morning. This is on Tuesday with a high tide at 1:28 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands, Tuesday and Wednesday, southeast Wednesday will relax just a tad, coming down to 12 to 18 knots. The wave height subsiding 3 to 6 feet, but maintaining the caution flags through Wednesday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
This woman name was Diva Diva.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Sean Bud. Join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Marlena?
Thanks, Basil. Well, as promised, we have Dion Pennerman live in studio with us. Dion is the owner of Pastryville and is here tonight to decorate a cake for us. Welcome to Access Now. Dion, it's our first time having a real baker on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So first, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Pastryville? What do you do here?
I'm an at-home baker. The way this business started was because during COVID, I lost my job and I was trying to find a way for an income. And I had to tap back to my roots.
And so this is a long-term dream.
All the way back with my mommy in the kitchen watching her bake. And I just, you know, just help her around, do what I had to do.
And now that passion project is...
just passed on to me.
Amazing.
I made it a business.
Amazing. So what are we going to be doing here tonight? I know we're getting into cake decorating.
Yeah.
I have never done anything like this, so bear with me.
Now that I am halfway done, I guess you could pipe the border on.
Okay.
Have you ever piped a border before?
Sorry?
Have you ever piped a border?
No.
Let me show you how we get started.
Okay.
So, you just start at the bottom. Yeah. You just come and we like this.
So like back and then...
hold the top.
Okay.
And then...
all right, let's see. Like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got it. You know how to do this.
Is the question, I'm like, yes, or?
You did this before.
Okay.
You got this.
No, I've never done it before. But yeah, I'm glad. So it looks like we've got some Independence colors happening on the table. I love it. I love it. And so now that we're decorating these kinds of cakes, how long does it usually take you to decorate the average cake, or does it depend on the order?
Sometimes it depends on the order, but roughly an hour and 30 minutes.
Wow.
It doesn't take me that long. I've been doing it so long. I can do this with my eyes closed.
Oh my goodness. And so tell me, what do people most typically come to you for? Is it birthdays? Is it weddings? Is it anniversaries?
A lot of birthdays.
A lot of birthdays.
Wedding cakes, I just basically, I want to say I just tapped more into doing wedding cakes because I was so nervous when I first started.
Yeah.
I just did a wedding cake maybe Saturday, and that happened.
I was gonna say, is there a lot more work that goes into that kind of?
A lot more, like them big, like 2-tier, 3-tier wedding cakes.
And do you have any help, or do you do all of that all by yourself?
I do all by myself.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. And so what are we gonna do with this cake here?
We could finish decorate it with the bottle. Add the 52 for the Independence, and that would be it, basically.
Okay. So should I have a go with the yellow and the other piping, or I can keep doing the blue one?
You can do the yellow.
Put me to work, Coach. Put me in.
Oy.
Oh my goodness. And so now that you're doing wedding cakes, do you find that people come to you with big designs from like Pinterest or something, and you're learning as you go?
A lot of Pinterest, and I learn as I go more and more.
Amazing.
But it's been, the way I've done it for so long, it's been easy, so I just tend to take it as a challenge and
grow as you go.
Yes.
And I love it. I love it.
For the yellow, we can do the top. This just to get a test.
Okay.
Okay, we do the top like this.
Okay, so bigger.
So bigger.
All right. Oh gosh. No pressure. LaDawn is laughing at me over there. And so where can people find you, or how can they put their bookings in?
You can find me on Facebook at Pastryville, or WhatsApp at 804-6312. You kind of messing up.
I'm messing it up, you guys. Please don't fire me. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I've kind of learned how to decorate a cake. Not really, but thank you. You did your best with me. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Dion. And
thank you for having me.
now it's, I'm so sorry. I hope I haven't completely ruined this cake, but it's time for us.
We can bring it back.
We can revive it. Good. It's time for us to check in with ZNS Total Sports to see what's on tap. Let's try to save it. Do some CPR on the cake.
And champions crowned on the men's and women's side in the Bahamas Flag Football League. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. ATC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Fuel the difference. Ruby's Ultra Tech in your car. Fill up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Spend less and go far. Fuel up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Get the most out every ride. Just watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel up with confidence in every mile. Get Ruby's Ultra Tech in your tank and drive with a smile. Watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel the difference with Ruby's Ultra Tech.
Impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Welcome to your sports on this Monday, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. We start off with some news from the gridiron over at the Donald Davis Field on Sunday. 4 teams, 2 titles. The Bahamas Flag Football League Championships taking place. Age-old rivalries coming to a head between the lines. On the women's side, the perennial powers, the Global Sun Wildcats, who after some time apart brought the old band back together. Standing on the sideline opposite them would be the A-Shore Windhawks. If you were looking for a high-scoring shootout, look elsewhere. This one would be a battle in the trenches. Defensive showdown that would see the Wildcats claw their way to a 7-zip win and take home their 4th title in the past 10 years.
Knowing that we came into the season with a personal goal, one to deliver a championship for our team and one for our coach that's no longer with us, Philip Rami. This was especially for him. Today's game was all about teamwork. We came and we played for each other. We wanted to make sure we had each other's backs, and we executed.
The men's side, a rivalry as old as time, is the Knowles Holiday Lions taking on the Bamboo Shack Predators. While the trash talk and intensity between these two teams will always be high, the end result on Sunday was anything but competitive. The Predators would once again show that they are a class above everyone else with a complete domination on both sides of the ball, pitching a shutout and stifling the roar of the Lions 21-0.
Number 6 in the books. Hey, listen, we came out, we studied well, prepared well, had a good practice. Ain't nothing taken away from Lions. Great team.
That's been a check on your sports on this Monday. Until tomorrow, I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out.
business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
You again today? Yes, Ma'am, Miss Villa. It's me again, but not for another household expenditure survey. As promised, your $70 voucher.
Money never come too late. Here I come.
Come, girl. Smell, I just want to take the time out to thank you for your willingness, for your participation in this household expenditure survey.
It was my pleasure. I'm going to take my gift certificate. I'm going to buy my fruits and vegetables. Thank you, Jesus.
Everything that you share with BNSI stays private by law. We don't name names. We just count what matters. All that we ask is that you be honest. Finish the survey so we can truly represent our communities.
Complete your household expenditure survey and receive your $70 food or gas voucher.
An amazing shot of both bridges that lead to and from the world-famous Paradise Island, formerly known as Hog Island. This awesome shot today was brought out by none other than our intern drone pilot, Kyson Miller. Mr. Miller, we look forward to your shots this week. Good job. Now, let's take a flight to Long Island. Let's go.
Shining stars of the Long Island Aviation Club just completed their first year at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida, where they are pursuing bachelor's degrees in aeronautical science. They recently finished their first solo flights, and they are currently pursuing their private pilot licenses. They touched down at the Nassau today at Jet Aviation, along with the club's founder, Captain John Bone. Felicity Darville was there.
Captain John Bone, assisted by Anselm Shea, has trained more than a dozen Long Island students in the field of aviation. And as expected with Long Islanders, these teenagers are soaring. The latest two in the cohort, 17-year-old Caden Shearer and 18-year-old Stefano Fox, have a perfect combination: a humble spirit, big dreams, and lots of confidence.
I always loved aviation. Ever since I was a kid, I was fascinated with planes. Every time I went on vacation, I loved just being in an airplane, learning how it flew, just taking off, landing. I just was fascinated being around airplanes. And I also had a flight sim at home that I flew on with my brother, and I would just fly all day, every day. Once I completed my degree and flight training at Embry-Riddle, I wanted to pursue an airline career at United Airlines.
Once I graduate, I have my future goals kind of set up in a way in which once I graduate, I want to become a flight instructor. And then after that, and building hours and teaching, I want to transition over to the airlines. I'm not certain which airline I want to work for yet. However, I do want to fly the 787, and I want to fly intercontinental routes, specifically between America and Europe.
And Captain Bone couldn't be more proud.
On Saturdays, we run the classes from 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock on Saturday, starting November the 8th right up until about Christmas. And I expect we'll probably have 20 or more students for that class.
For decades, Long Island has produced exceptional students, specifically in the area of education. But thanks to the Long Island Aviation Club, young people are now taking the hopes and dreams of their island to the skies. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Good news for those young pilots, and there's always something good coming out of Long Island. Marlena?
That's right. Congratulations to our Long Island pilots. That's some good news there. And for more good news, let's turn things over to our Matea Cunningham and Let's Talk Socials.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Matea, and you're watching Let's Talk Socials. The summer months are rolling in, and we can all agree that sometimes all we need to cool down is a sweet treat. But before we dive into that, let's talk about something to take the edge off. Now, when you hear the term, I need something to take the edge off, it's typically said by smokers or drinkers, accompanied by their cigarette or beer in hand. However, social media users, like they always do, have found a way to turn the phrase into a funny trend. People are creating videos with the caption, "A little something to take the edge off," and we then see something hilarious and unexpected in their hands. Honestly, everyone, there's only so much explaining I can do. You're gonna have to see this one for yourselves. Take a look. Well, what do you say? Would any of these things take the edge off for you? Remember that sweet treat I referenced a minute ago? The strawberry daiquiri in the first clip would definitely take the edge off for me. Comment down below if you're watching on your smart devices. What'll take the edge off for you during these hot summer months? I look forward to reading those responses. I'm Matea Cunningham, your host for Let's Talk Socials. See you guys tomorrow.
Chili's. The Chili's would have done it for me. That's immediately yes. And we can see Dion's managed to save the day on my attempt at decorating, but you've definitely brought it back. So thank you so much, and I think that's all we have for today, unfortunately.
Yes, it is. It is. All right. And that does it for Access Now for tonight. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for Taboo Tuesday.
Yes, but stay tuned for the Rundown with Clint Watson. Tonight, his guests are recently named candidate Vice Chairman of the Free National Movement, Travis Robinson, and Bahamas Air's Managing Director, Tracy Cooper. So much to go.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. We're going to eat this cake. Let's go.
Mine, who was the leader of one of the biggest gangs in this country during the early 90s. The gang that he was a part of tried to recruit all of us. If you're not strong, you can fall prey to that environment. I did not join because I was kept involved in positive activities. I saw what worked, what didn't work, and I just was able to utilize all of the gifts and talents over the years to impact young persons' lives throughout our nation. I realized every single individual has the freedom to choose. But if you choose light, these are the benefits. If you choose darkness, these are the results of your choice. I've seen music bring young persons from gangs through a trumpet, through a clarinet, through a drum, all because of the power of music. Conflict will come, circumstances will come. We just have to be consistent, dedicated, and committed with our young persons. Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Hello, my name is Talia Roll, and I'm a sunflower at NCA. We learn and do fun activities. Come along and join us.
Become a member of one of our groups today. Sunflowers, ages 5 and 6 years. Brownies, ages 7 to 10 years. Rangers, ages 14 to 17 years. And Guiders, age 18 and older. For more information, call 322-4342 or 356-5143. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Disabilities Sunflower is a globally recognized symbol for persons with invisible disabilities.
The Sunflower lanyard made our journey less stressful, smoother, and more inclusive.
REACH is proud to support the Hidden Sunflower Scheme, which makes the invisible visible. So far, the Nassau Airport Authority and the Nassau Cruise Port are Sunflower certified.
So if you see someone with a Sunflower lanyard, always remember to be patient and ask if they need some help. Please be kind and always remember to show respect.
We wish to encourage more hotel operators with amenities such as water parks, restaurants, cinemas, government offices to join this initiative, making the Bahamas a more sunflower-friendly country.
Please feel free to reach out to the REACH office at 328-4123, or you can reach out to the National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities at 396-8700.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lapinder.
planning Following the execution of a newscast,
we seem to remember our athletes when they make us proud at the finish line. Throw a junk in a parade when they return home, toss them a few dollars. And then forget about them until the next Members of the prestigious Fourth Estate should never sell themselves to any politician. Instead, keep their hands and noses clean in order to publish or broadcast the unadulterated truth. Well, that's how I see it anyway.
Read as I see it, exclusively at ZNSBahamas.com. New articles premiere on Mondays at 9 a.m.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
A disabled person, a lot of times we feel like it's just us. And I recognize, even through my bone cancer journey and receiving an amputation, that it was time to join the community around me. So I started to dive into sports, adaptive sports, Paralympic development. So that's how I got into para archery. You know the lens that you have in yourself on your own value. How am I going to be productive? How am I going to leave a mark or do an impact in your community? You're going to have to decide that even in showing up, you're celebrating your wins, but also acknowledging and being accountable for the times that you did not do what you needed to do, but it's never a loss, it's a learn. And so actually helps us to focus on that, focus on ourselves and focus on our actions. Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
By giving unconditionally, not expecting anything in return, I thought was a wonderful way of showing this love, and I believe that it is love that truly draws people, and so I thought we could cover a lot more people by feeding. Volunteers, you know, they have truly been sold.
My passion is to help, and I thank God for what I can do through the help of Bahamas Feeding Network.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the start of another work week. It's good to have you with us. Welcome to the Rundown. Well, tonight, law enforcement officials are calling a recent operation that uncovered an assortment of weapons, ammunition, and a huge success, pretty much. At a press conference this afternoon, police showed off this significant find in hopes of demonstrating to the public that those who attempt to violate the law will be brought down. Corval Pipeline was at the police force's East Street headquarters this afternoon for the press conference. He joins us live in studio tonight with the details. Corval, what can you tell us about this significant bust?
Firearms, ammunition, and marijuana seized in a single operation this past Friday. And while law enforcement officials are holding close to the vest the details of this operation, what they were more than happy to show off is what it yielded. Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles made no bones about showing off what she considers a considerable find for law enforcement. A joint operation with police and customs netting more than 24 illegal firearms, many of them high-powered weapons with the potential to cause considerable damage and harm, ammunition, and thousands of dollars worth, as well as marijuana. The operation started Friday afternoon and ended soon after, the commissioner telling the press late Monday afternoon that at least one person is in custody.
Around 3 p.m., we began the operation, and shortly before 5 p.m., we stopped a vehicle
in the western portion of New Providence. Upon searching that vehicle, which contained a number of household appliances, we found what you see here today.
The contents were hidden in household appliances like stoves, refrigerators, microwaves, and others.
In this haul, we have 25 weapons that were recovered. 2 of them are revolvers, 11 of them are pistols, 1 of which is a ghost gun, 12 of them are rifles, 9 of which are ghost guns, and of course 29 magazines.
The ammunition seized totals more than 5,000 rounds.
240 rounds of .40 ammunition, 3,081 rounds of .9 millimeter ammunition, 837 rounds of 7.62 ammunition, 50 rounds of .38 ammunition, and 143 rounds of .300 ammunition.
The commissioner stressing just how potentially lethal these weapons could have been if in the wrong hands.
We don't need these kinds of weapons on our street because they will certainly continue to create fear and can, if we know in the hands of the wrong people, and in places where there are large crowds, can cause plenty havoc.
There was also a substantial seizure of marijuana in that same operation.
44 packages of suspected marijuana with a total weight of 49.6 pounds with a street value of $198,400.
And the commissioner there underscoring that this was indeed a significant seizure. She's sending this message to criminals and would-be criminals who believe that they can get away with this sort of activity to, in 2 words, think again. Clint?
Corval, I have to ask, because I'm watching this story, and I can't help but wonder, I know there was an arrest made. Do we know whether police are revealing how they're finding these things, whether this is a shipping company, whether it was at the port? Do we know how these firearms and illegal drugs are making their way into the country?
As I said at the beginning of the piece, the police are still holding the details of this seizure close to the vest, and that's deliberately. The commissioner says that this matter is under active investigation, and I think she does not want too much information given out to the perpetrators.
All right, Corval Python reporting. Thank you. Excellent reporting there tonight, Corval. Thank you. And you know, as we talk about this story, right, this is nothing new. We've been talking about this for years now, and the police have said that illegal firearms, drugs, ammunition are coming into, we don't manufacture these things in the Bahamas. They're coming into the country from somewhere, right? And we know that the most plausible cause is persons are bringing them in through private yachts, bringing them into shipping. We would hope they're not coming in through the conventional means, traditional means, which is coming through the ports, because there's supposed to be scanners there, customs there, all of those, you know, protections in place. But nonetheless, that's how they're making their way in. And remember now, this wasn't found at the port. If you heard correctly in that story, they tracked down this vehicle and they found the person, and they uncovered these items that were coming in, and in these items were these illegal weapons and drugs. So it tells us that people are bringing them into the country, so smuggling. Could you imagine with that amount of weapons on the streets? Is this a war that we're having out there? Could you imagine the damage that can be done if those weapons made it to the streets? And so often we keep saying that they're getting into the country by some way, some means. Now, the question always is, how do we protect our borders enough? We are an archipelago of islands surrounded by water, 100,000 square miles of water, right? That's almost the size of the Caribbean. We don't have enough Marine officers to man the port of entry in the Bahamas, or to man what's coming into this country. We see private yachts coming in all the time to Keys. Who's checking them? They're probably going undetected. No one's checking those private yachts that pull up on private islands or pull up to private resorts. They're the lifestyle of the rich and famous, but guess what? Intelligence will tell you, they've found that many of those vessels are also bringing in illegal items. And so the question is, how do we man all of these areas? We don't have enough officers to even do it. How do we man it? Because they're getting in, bringing in these illegal firearms, they're selling them on the streets, and they're wreaking havoc in our community. And I'm glad the police were able to make that significant crack today. Hats off to the Royal Bahamas Police Force for what they have done in that regard. I think at the end of the day, it speaks volumes to what's going on in our country and the fact that we can crack down on this. Well, here's another thing to go along with this crime story. An intense investigation is also underway into that triple shooting in the area of John Terrace off Wolf Road last night that left one person dead and 2 others injured. Now, when officers arrived on the scene, they found a female lying unresponsive on the porch, suffering from gunshot wounds. Emergency medical personnel found no signs of life. Now, according to police, the other 2 persons are listed in stable condition tonight in hospital. Assistant Police Commissioner responsible for crime, Anton Ramming, gave reporters this update earlier this afternoon.
One of those individuals we know succumbed on scene, a 27-year-old female who was injured at that location. Also, there was a 13-year-old male who was also shot and taken to the hospital, shot to the leg. There was also a 19-year-old female that was also shot to the chest and the right side. That individual, both individuals are still detained in hospital, and we are told at this time that they are both in stable condition. Certainly, if there are cameras in that area, we will seek to get that information so that we can see how best that can assist us with the investigation, which we are now carrying on with.
There you go. If we can get guns off the streets, we could stop these shootings from happening. Here we have female victims now. And so we need to be able to remove these guns off the streets. That's why if you know somebody who has a weapon and you know it's illegal and you know they got it off the streets, you ought to report it, right? Trying to keep it, okay, there's a fly in this video. Trying to keep it under hush-hush eventually causes harm to your family, other person's families. So it's important to report what you see so that we can get these illegal firearms off the streets. That's important. Well, newly ratified Free National Movement candidate for Fox Hill, Dr. Nicholas Fox, forced to pick up the pieces after his medical office was ransacked during the early morning hours. The perpetrator reportedly came through a hole cut in the ceiling. We're told iPads used for patient information as well as patient files were flung to the floor. The culprits also tried to get into Dr. Fox's personal computer. Our news team understands they stole about $2,000 in cash. Dr. Fox says his staff made the discovery when they arrived. When he arrived, he was pretty shocked to see the state of his office. The police have since visited the scene, taken statements, and dusted with fingerprints.
The mood in here is one of disappointment. I've just been ratified 4 days ago, and this seems to be associated with my ratification. I don't understand why somebody would rob a doctor's office. It's just counterproductive. But I think this is a means of intimidation for me, maybe to throw my hat back and give up. But I'm not intimidated. I'm not afraid. I'm in this to win this. So it's just forward movement from here, and I am strong, and I won't let this deter me.
Okay, so our hearts go out to obviously Dr. Fox, his office. Now, he's, based on his comments, he's asserting or alluding to the fact that he believes this criminal act was as a result of his nomination. And I certainly hope that's not the case. Because I would hate to think that this is where we are at now in the political arena, where we are now committing crimes because of people's political choice or political decisions. And that's absolute nonsense and foolishness, and we don't condone that. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that, I don't know what I'm hoping. Why was this place even robbed? It makes no sense. It's sad. It's the same issue we talk about with crime in this country, and I hope they find the person, and I hope that person is punished to the full extent of the law, plus some, because it makes no sense. But if it is politically motivated, it's absolutely stupid. and I hope this is not what the political season is going to be like coming up, that people would allow calm heads to prevail, and that we respect the rights and choices of every individual in this country, and that we would be professional in our dealings with political interactions and disagreements and political views. We cannot allow our nation, which has been defined as a peaceful one when it comes to politics, to now be described as violent and harsh when it comes to politics. We are not that kind of people. And I think we have to bring the temperature down, especially on social media, because those people on social media, that's a crazy realm. That's just crazy. That they are just crazy. I understand now why people come off social media, because it's just a big battlefield for everybody to just go crazy. Because they feel they can hide behind social media and not be who they are. And say what they want to say about people, do what they want to do, put out what they want to put out. That does not benefit our country. And we've got to be mature about what we do and be patriotic first before political. Be patriotic to your country before politics, and I think we will see a better season and a better day. Dr. Fox is among 17 Free National Movement candidates who officially ratified by the party and introduced to the public last week, Thursday. The event has generated a lot of feedback, if I should say so myself, especially on that little demon place called social media, as to why these specific candidates were chosen and what qualifications does the F&M candidate committee need to confirm an election candidate. You know, everybody all of a sudden now is an expert in politics, and everybody want to tell you what you can do and how you choose who you choose and why you choose who you choose and why you didn't choose who you choose. Well, we're going to get into that tonight. We're going to have those questions answered more tonight. The Free National Movement's Deputy Chairman is here, Travis Robinson, and he's going to talk to us about how they selected those candidates. Maybe he'll tell us why wasn't Travis on that list? Why didn't they ratify Travis, the Deputy Chairman? What's the problem? It's a problem. We'll talk to Travis about that. And then also joining us tonight is the Managing Director of our colleague corporation, Bahama Air. 2025 is a special year for him, both professionally and personally. So we're going to talk to him about that. I love Bahama Air. Boy, that's the safest airline you could fly on anytime, any day. And their on-time performance has been really remarkable these days. So I'm looking forward to talking to Tracy tonight. Stay with us. A great show planned for you. It continues on the rundown right after the break. Stay close.
What is it that you want to do? And we want to have a good time. We want to be free to do what we want to do.
As we continue to develop the orange economy of the Bahamas and empower our artists and artisans, we as a government intend to show tangible support. We are therefore requesting our Bahamian artists and artisans to submit images of their handmade, authentically made Bahamian products and prices as we move to produce a live digital booklet with Bahamian-made works. With the creation of a live booklet, artisans can always submit new works to be included. It is our intent to use this book as a catalog for the purchase of items by all senior government officials for gifts, display items, and the like. Ministers, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, and ambassadors will be supporting our orange economy by the purchase of items and in sharing this book to the wider global creative community. We are committed to grow and expand the orange economy of the Bahamas.
Welcome back, and a special good night to all of you who are watching online. I see those of you in the Lion's Den, those of you who are also watching on YouTube or whatever platform you get it on, cable, whatever you're watching in the country, around the region, those of you in Turks and Caicos, those of you in the region, and those of you around the world who are tuning in to us tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you watching The Rundown. Well, last week's Free National Move in Canada launch surely had the country buzzing. It's still buzzing, as Bahamians waited with bated breath to see which candidates the opposition had chosen to run in next year's general election. Now, here tonight to explain the candidate selection process and the Free National Movement's election agenda is the Deputy Chairman and former Member of Parliament for Bain and Grandstown, who is now moved a little over from Bain and Grandstown, crossed the traffic light over into Fort Charlotte. Travis Robinson. Travis, thanks for joining us tonight. Good to have you.
Brother Watson, thank you. Pleasure.
Listen, it created a firestorm, but I think that's good. You know, people always, I don't know why people think if it ain't good news, it's not good. And I would tell people any news is good, right? Because you generate the talk. You want to generate the buzz. You want people to begin thinking about you. So whether all the talk and the discussion are negative or not doesn't matter. The fact is you have people thinking. You have people looking and judging and considering. So, you know, the first question is, how does the FNM select its candidates? Boy, y'all under the fire. How do you select the candidates?
Well, firstly, Brother Watson, you as a potential candidate or an aspirant, an individual wanting to run for the Free National Movement, they would submit a letter of interest to the party, that to the chairman, secretary general, and to the leader should they wish to do so. Once that letter has been received, they would be called. As we have implemented this time around, there's an orientation process. So you have to go through an orientation in order to be even considered for any of the seats.
And that orientation obviously talks about, I guess, the party.
Yeah, it talks about the history of the party. It talks about expectation of a candidate, of a member of parliament. It carries you through all of the parliamentary procedures, etc., to ensure that you understand the full gamut of what you are getting yourself into. Once you would have finished the orientation process, then you would begin communicating with the association for whatever constituency that you're interested in, and you would begin to hit the ground, knocking on doors, talking to people, etc. When the formal process starts in terms of the party apparatus begin to call in persons, the interviewing and investigation committee would then, at a point in the process, call you in for an interview, and they do the background search to make sure that we're putting forward credible individuals. You pass that process, and then you are advanced to the candidate select committee, which is the executive committee. The executive will vote, and then they will take that recommendation, the results of that vote, to the council, who will ultimately vote and ratify you.
Do you normally have a difference between the executive and the council? Or normally, whatever executive put forward usually gets ratified?
Usually, the council is minded to go with the results of the candidates committee. However, there have been instances in the past where the council has decided to go a different way.
Did that happen in this case so far?
So far, no. We are pleased that the council have ratified the Frontline 17 unanimously, and they went in tonight. And as we can see, persons are excited by the process. They're excited about these 17 candidates we've rolled out, and we're off to the races.
So let's talk about some of the candidates, right? Obviously, we saw in the headlines today that South Beach brand said they were taken back. They were shocked. Because that's not who they were working with on the ground. They were working with Senator Jamal Morse, and up comes Darren Henfield. What happened there?
So again, I speak to the process, and let me just say for the record, Senator Morse is a valuable member of the FNM, since he have put out a voice note, reaffirming his commitment to the party. In this process, we'll have many disappointments, and so this is not unexpected.
Everybody can't be selected.
Correct. So the process was smooth and transparent. South Beach made a recommendation to the party of two names, former Senator Morse as well as current Senator Henfield.
Right.
They indicated, obviously, that Moss would have been their first preference. However, they indicated whomever the council would ultimately, yes, so they will support that person. And so that's where we are in the process. The council ultimately selected current Senator Darren Henfield, former cabinet minister, and so now we're off to the races.
Okay. All right, that was a diplomatic answer. Let's talk about even in the media, and I'm going to bring it up because he's a member of the Free National Movement. Dr. Minnis said some of these candidates are ratified. He's never heard about them.
Well, I mean, that's true for members of the public too. They may not have heard about a number of the candidates. And so this is where the introduction now of our full slate of 17 will roll out over the next couple of days, introducing them to individuals that they may not know. And so that's not unusual. We invite Dr. Minnis and any member who you may see a candidate, you may have interest in them. Their biography is available. They're on our party's website. They're out there. You can get the information.
So he still ain't getting a nomination, Dr. Minnis?
Well, the party made a very clear decision. The council voted, and we determined that we would go a different route. He's a valuable member of our team.
How valuable that you won't give him a nomination?
He's a valuable. Nomination is not the only valuable position you could play.
What are some of the other valuable positions?
He's a current member of parliament, and he continues to hold the PLP feet to the fire, like the rest of our members of parliament in there. And so he's a statesman in his own right. We invite him to continue to be that.
Does the FNM believe they're treating him as a statesman?
Wholeheartedly, yes. There's been no area where he's been excluded from in terms of he's a member of the council, the executive, the leadership, etc. He has full rights to all of that. And
he just can't get a nomination.
Well, it's again, nomination is not up for one person to decide.
I mean,
the council decides that.
But if somebody's a statesman, somebody's a former prime minister, and you're giving somebody all the respect, some people believe they shouldn't have to go the route that other regular members of your party ought to go. They ought to be able to say, well, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, and they ought to be given that rights and privilege. I would think that's how you treat an elder statesman and a former prime minister. Well, that he would have the right to choose, what do you want to do next, sir? And we'll oblige you.
And as a former prime minister, former leader of this party, he knows the rules and procedure according to the FNM Constitution. We're not making up these rules as we go. These are Constitution that he abided by when he was leader of the party, and we are continuing the procedures and the manuals of our Constitution. We're not inventing this process.
I'm going to ask you a tough question because I believe you're smart enough that you can answer it. Is the FNM trying to distance itself from the record of Dr. Hubert Minnis? Because I'm thinking if he has successfully led this country as a Free National Movement, under the Free National Movement government, as a prime minister, and the FNM is proud of what he has done, you would not want to distance yourself from his work or his involvement or him running again. Why not run somebody if you believe that they've done a good job? Then why exclude them from the why a seat that many people describe in this country as a safe seat, Kalani? Why put that at risk by not running the man who's been holding it and winning it for the FNM for so long? Are you trying to distance from him?
It is not a matter of distancing from him. In 2021, the Bahamian people made it abundantly clear that the direction that the country was going and operating in, they have rejected.
Right.
Resoundingly. And I was perhaps one of the casualties of that. And so we are responding to the wishes of the Bahamian people. They have said to the FNM under the leadership of Dr. Minnis at the time, thank you for your service. We had decided to go a different way. The party hears that. We have Michael Pintard. He's the twice duly elected leader of the Free National Movement through 2 different conventions. And we're putting him forward. He's bringing new, fresh, bright, and innovative ideas to the table and the forefront. Our policies, our legislations will be creative. We will respond to the wishes of the Bahamian people who can either elect us or obviously unceremoniously boot us out of power.
Let's talk about some of the other candidates that are perhaps not been announced yet on top. There's still a number of seats, a number of constituencies yet to announce, including Fort Charlotte, where you're hoping to grab that nomination. Now, do you feel secure that you're going to be able to be successful in that nomination? Anybody running against you trying to get that nomination?
I would only say this. I am a member of the Free National Movement. I believe in the process. The process has birthed 17 incredible candidates.
Oh, Lord, here we go with this diplomatic answers.
I am excited. I'm excited. It's a process, and we're all going through the process.
So you're going through the process. You've been canvassing, and you put yourself out there.
We're on the ground. We're canvassing like other young persons, other persons of interest, and we're putting in the work because at the end of the day, we accept that nothing is guaranteed. You could be, as we can see, from the leader straight down to the janitor or whatever position you deem. Everybody goes through the same process, and we respect the process.
The elephant in the room. You crossed the street. You went from, at least you didn't cross the floor. You crossed the street. You went from Bain Grandstown to Fort Charlotte. Some people look at that and say, well, why is he doing that? What is your answer to that?
Well, in due time, we will roll out, I will speak to that in more full detail, but I'm proud of the work I did in Baintown. I love the people of Baintown. I think they love me as well. And I continue to go back and visit and talk with them on almost every other day. And so, in time, I will speak more fully.
Scared of Wade Watson?
You never see it. Never see it. It's a Baintown boy, I never see it. But on a serious note, I think the Bahamian people are excited about this candidate lineup we've launched out. 17 dynamic individuals. They represent a cross-section of the demographic makeup of the country. Women, young people, and more experienced individuals like former cabinet ministers that we have seen. And we will see more of that. We will see more young people.
We're going to see more of that. Let's talk about that a second because the leader, Michael Pinchot, has made it clear that he's charting his course. He's going in a different direction than the previous FNM administration, and that he's looking to give people something new and stuff. So the last thing people expected to see was old, I don't say old, prior cabinet ministers, previous cabinet ministers from Minnis administration. If you're trying to go a different way, you're using the same people. What's the rationale behind that? We see Michael Folks, we see Henfield, we see Marvin Dames. Are there more? And then you said there could be more coming up. Why are we still seeing the same people that you're trying to distance yourself from?
At the same time, I want to clarify and make it very clear. Again, it's not a matter of distancing ourselves. We're pivoting to answer and respond to the message that the Bahamian people sent to us. The former cabinet ministers that you speak to, they've played a valuable role in the last administration. We believe in their ability. Their work speaks for itself. And they bring that level of continuity to our Pinchot administration. So it's important for a sense of connectivity and continuity from Minnis administration to Pinchot FNM administration so that we don't start over from scratch. You need people who was at the table and understood what took place to be able to build off of that and continue on it rather than starting over.
What do you think the FNM needs to do in order to be able to resonate among the voters in the upcoming election?
I think we have started that work. We're speaking to their issues. We're speaking to the needs of the Bahamian people. The cost of living is a major issue. People can't find food, they can't pay their bills, the middle class is shrinking. These are real issues. Light bill, as we could see this month, has skyrocketed once again. Crime is a real issue. So we're speaking to the real issues that people are experiencing and talking about on the ground and providing real legislative policies and positions that people would be able to buy into the vision of a Pinchot administration.
All right, we're going to go to our break, and when we come back, we'll continue talking about the Pinchot administration. What would that look like? And candidates, you're handling yourself. You're holding your own. You're watching The Rundown. We're back after this. Stick with us.
For us at the Myers Group of restaurants, we found that we have a pretty large portion of our employment pool that had difficulty getting bank accounts.
The issue we had previously was just getting cash, getting funds on the island. And with only one working ATM, the idea of the sand dollar just in being digital And everybody has a smartphone nowadays. It actually works into our favor.
The sand dollar was like a godsend because it allowed us to add it to our payroll system, which means we're able to send their money to the sand dollar wallet.
It's still a bank transfer because you get an account number. So from the employer side of things, all I have to do is send your funds just as usual.
It opens up our pool for us to be able to hire some of the people that we couldn't hire before because they were unable to open bank accounts. This has been a really good solution.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahama Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
Welcome back to the Rundown. My guest tonight is Deputy Chairman of the Free National Movement, Travis Robinson, talking about those candidates, which is expected to come. Is the FNM surprised by the public feedback on the first slate of candidates? All of the talk and all of the back and forth. Are you surprised by that? Did that catch you by surprise?
Well, I mean, not surprised. We are excited by it because we have a good mix of feedback. People are excited, people are optimistic, and they see an exciting group, a cadre of individuals who they believe can actually run and manage this country certainly better than what's happening now.
These candidates, was this a principle of the FNM that the persons they're choosing the candidates either live in the constituency or familiar with that constituency? Is that an intentional thing?
Well, most of it happened to sink into itself, but we were more focused on ensuring that the people had the track record necessary of community service. They have the ability to lead in the appointed positions that they may obtain, and that their characters are above reproach. That people would not have to question who these gangsters are, so to speak, that the FNM would put forward if we did not do our due diligence. So it was a cross-section of things to ensure that our candidates meet the standard and the new standard that Michael Pintard has ensured that all of his candidates will meet going forward.
Opposition parties are always cognizant of the landscape of the area, who are they running against, who are the concerns in the race, all of that, because obviously the idea is to be successful. In previous years, in previous elections, it's been worrying about the DNA and all the other things. That's not a factor this election, but there is a factor, Coalition of Independence. What is the FNM's view of the Coalition of Independence? You see them as a credible threat to you obtaining governance. They, in past elections, especially the last election, they were spoilers for the FNM and could have perhaps been the difference why some seats were not won by the FNM because of coalition being involved in there. They seem to have grown their membership since then. Is that a concern?
I would not call it a concern. I think what we see it as is good for democracy. People have an opportunity to decide whether the two major political parties are providing for them the kind of representation they want, or they have a third party. We in the FNM, we're confident that our platform and our manifesto, when it roll out, people will be able to buy into a vision that will take the Bahamas to what we call the 21st century Bahamas. So we see them, we're not locked in on them, but we have them in the corner of our eye as we move forward. But we're focused more so on the policy positions, on the issues that Bahamians are facing, and providing real recommendations and solutions.
They're pretty much doing the same thing. We've spoken to them, and they seem to have a similar message as the FNM. I'm thinking could impact your ability at the polls, because they're, like what you're saying, are hoping to say they can provide a better governance. They want to see cost of living. They want to make sure Bahamians are empowered. A lot of what the FNM has been talking about, so is the Coalition of Independence. How do you separate yourself and get that voter who's standing there thinking, okay, FNM or coalition if I don't want the PLP? How do you convince them that you're the party over the coalition?
The equation is crystal clear. The FNM have a track record that we can run on.
Which is
the COI does not. We have built schools, we have built roads, we've been in government before, we've built clinics, airports, and the likes. We have a track record of getting the job done in the Free National Movement. There's a hopeful, aspirational talk when it comes to the COI. And again, respectfully, there's a place for them in a democracy such as the Bahamas. We do not have any interest in making them the focal point of our agenda, because that is the Bahamian people. But we are comfortable with our strategy, with our approach. We're putting the necessary steps in place, and the behind-the-scene work that we're doing with meeting in focus groups and talking to people all across the political divide, all across the country, from the religious community, meeting with them, special interest groups, meeting with them, and the list goes on. So we're comfortable and confident in what we are proposing, and any other opposition, we see them in a race like any other, and our goal is to cross the finish line first.
What will the next slate of candidates look like? Any idea when that will be named, when those persons will be named?
No specific time frame at this point. I invite the public to take a look at the 17 dynamic frontline soldiers we have now. That's enough for now that we can dissect and dive into and look at their background.
I don't know for a little while.
and in due course, we will roll out the next slate, but they will reflect the demographic makeup of the Bahamas. Young people are going to be able to look and see. They're going to see young people who they can relate to. The women are going to see an impressive group of women whose track record speak for itself. And people in the business and the financial arena, no matter where you're from, your industry, you're going to see someone who can speak to the issues concerning whatever industry or field that you find yourself in.
As a former parliamentarian, what advice do you give to those political newcomers or potential candidates? What do you say to them tonight?
I would say to them, political newcomers, I would tell them that the people have the final say. In that you could have all of the aspirations, you are part of an organization, but remember that the people have the final say. And so everything that you do, you got to wake up every day knowing that you're focusing on the agenda of the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. You focus on them, you'll have a pretty good stint in politics.
All right, Travis Robbins, we're out of time. We got to have you back. Thank you for coming on tonight and
thank you.
helping us in the process. It's a pleasure. Stay with us when we come back. The manager, y'all ready to fly? Let's fly. You know, those nice ATR, you know, flights and those jets, you know. Let's talk about Bahamas Air. That's our national flag carrier. Tomorrow, you know, we're dressing up in national pride colors. Let's talk about Bahamas Air. You know, I live by the airport, and that jet flies over. I say, yeah, look at that beauty. You're a pilot, aren't you, Travis? You're a pilot. Why you fly Bahamas Air?
I'm serving the Bahamian.
We're talking to Tracy Cooper, the manager director, next. Stay with us.
Hey, ladies, where's the Dave? Oh, okay, thanks.
Greg, what's up?
Ready, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. He's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right, well, I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Penitentiary saying now on to independence.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
I haven't been coming to this island since I was 12 years old.
It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, Tracy Cooper is a distinguished aviation executive and engineer whose career spans, get this, over 4 decades in the airline industry, including an exemplary 40-year tenure with Bahamas Air, the national flag carrier of the Bahamas, rising through the ranks from an aircraft maintenance technician to becoming the company's managing director in 2016. Mr. Cooper has played a pivotal role in shaping the operational, technological, and strategic direction of the airline. He's here tonight to reminisce pretty much on his career and a personal milestone. So I'll be welcome to the rundown. Sir, good to have you here.
Good to have you.
Congratulations.
Thank you much, Brother Watson.
9 years as head of any any institution in the government, I think, is remarkable. Right. Because just my 2 years here at leading the Broadcasting Corporation, it's challenging. And while it's rewarding, it's challenging. So to be able to do it 9 years is simply amazing. We've watched the legacy that you've built take shape, because we've seen that airline transform to struggling and trying to find itself to one that seems to be able to not only just win awards regionally and globally, but be able to maintain a consistent presence of quality service. No. How do you feel as you reflect on the work that you've created and your accomplishments?
Well, as you know, this all comes together as a team. And if I'm trying to kind of say this is a Tracy Cooper moment, I'd kind of be lying here. Right. We have a phenomenal team at Bahamas Air, an executive management team that understands the importance of the airline and the strategic emphasis it is to the, not just for the government, but to the growth of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So I am really elated to have been at the helm for these past 9 years. I can say that in the year 2000, I was made the director of maintenance. So I've been a part of the executive management team for the past 25 years.
Wow.
So that has helped me a lot in forming what we're doing today as the leadership of the airline.
What do you hope your legacy will be at Bahamas Air?
I understand the importance of the airline. And at the end of the day, we want something where we can say that the airline contributed to the economic growth of the whole Bahamas. You know, we're an archipelago, and unfortunately, to get the outer islands to grow at the same pace as New Providence, you need to have a good transportation system.
Right.
And we want to be seen as being a part of making sure that would have happened over the years, but also even improving on that in the past several years.
As government organizations, corporations, we understand the need that sometimes the service we have to provide ain't gonna be profitable. I mean, we do it all the time here in broadcasting, and some coverage you have to provide. You don't gonna make the money off it, but you have to do it because it's a part of what you do.
Correct.
How do you ensure that the airline is able to meet the need of an archipelago, but yet still, at the end of the day, operate as a business as it should?
Yeah, so you have to understand that you have to, where you make the plenties on one side, it has to augment and support the lean on the other side. When you talk about the Michaels and the extreme outer bands, where you have population standards that may only be 250, maybe 500, but you still got to get there. So do you kind of run the airline down in servicing that? And the answer is no. What you do is you have a good population center in New Providence, you have a good population center in Abaco and in Freeport, and also going over to the U.S. And what we try to do is we try to maximize on that so that we can augment what is happening on the other islands.
When we look at the fact that Bahamas Air is positioning itself to do more international routes, talk a little bit about that, because the airline has a vision to be able to go further. Now we see with the pull-out of silver, there may be a need to fill some of those routes. Is that kind of forcing Bahamas Air now to do more international routes than before?
The one thing that you have to understand with Bahamas is that we're not a big airline. We're a regional airline. At this particular time, we have 10 airplanes. You'd believe we got a hell of a lot more.
It certainly sounds like it, yeah.
Because of what we do. And so at the end of the day, we try to work within the means of which we have, but still to maximize what it is as far as the impact and the effect on the airline. I mean, on the Bahamas. So yeah, we look to see what we can do, and so we're very strategic in selecting what it is that we do, because at the end of the day, even though you want to expand and do a lot more, you got to worry about the reliability. You want to make sure that when you say, I'm going to promise to take you from point A to point B at a particular time, and you know that commodity is, $10 kind of thing.
Right,
it's a
right.
$200, $300 kind of thing, that we are meeting the promise. And the only way to do that is not to overextend ourselves. So yes, we are looking to, especially with the silver thing that just happened recently, we're looking to see how we could help out in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism to see how we could capture some of those routes. But we're going to do it in a way where it is not going to kind of overstretch the airline to where we cannot produce the quality of service that is demanded. 40
years in the industry is a long time. Are there any stand-up moments for you, highlight moments as you look at your career?
Yeah, the one thing I like to say is that I joined Bahamas Air 40 years ago, but Bahamas Air started 52 years ago in 1973 on the 17th. By the way, it started on the 17th of June. I started Bahamas Air on the 18th of June, some 12 years later. And of course, my 60th birthday is on the 22nd of June. There's this June thing.
Just a serious thing of June.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I like to say that when I joined Bahamas Air, I actually joined and met the pioneers that started Bahamas Air. I worked with them because it was only 12 years in. And that kind of solidified me down to understand that we're building on the shoulders of some dedicated people who made this thing worked over the years. And so everything that we put into it today, again, it isn't just from us and how we look at it. We look at our forebears, some of them that are still around today. Our retirement grouping is pretty robust, and they could tell you the stories themselves. But you understood what the government was trying to do back in 1973 and what the airline has grown. I mean, we've done a lot of firsts. We started Atlanta, we started the Phillies, those were all Bahamas Air. Right. And that we grew those for the tourism product for the Bahamas, and then turned those over to others. Again, we're not a 100 airplane company. So, and we're continuing to do that today, which is to look strategically as to what the government wants to. So we work not just within ourselves, but strategically, especially with the Ministry of Tourism, to see how we could have the greatest impact for the economy of the Bahamas.
The big question is always, what's next for you?
For me, okay, so when I say that I've been 40 years at the airline, it means that, there's some end view in sight, right? For me right now, it is all about mentoring and building the next generation that is in Bahamas Air that is even going to take over from me.
Right.
Right? Bahamas Air has been good to me, and therefore I'm not one who believes that I got to stay around forever and ever, amen. Right? It is time for me now to take everything. And, there's something that Dr. Miles Monroe would have said. Don't go to grave full. Empty yourself, right? And so that's what I'm trying to do. How do I get into making sure that the airline is on sure footing, not just for this 40 years, but even 40 years beyond me?
That's an excellent thing to be doing. I think so many leaders don't mentor, and when they pass on, when they go on or move on, is a big gap, a gaping hole there because there was no succession planning. Sure. And so I'm really admiring the fact that that's what you're spending your time doing now, because the reality is no one is where it's going to stay forever where they are, right? And you need to be prepared to move on. But I think you've done a great job. in leading it through consecutive administrations, which we all understand is never easy. Everybody comes with a different vision, a different focus, a different ask. But hats off to you. And the airline is one that we're definitely very proud of. And congratulations to a stellar career.
Thank you much.
We look forward to the next. It's a pleasure.
Definitely.
Thank you, sir. That does it for the rundown. Be sure to stay locked on to the ZNS network for the Bahamas tonight at 11. It's a final newscast in the country with the latest news and information with Royston Jones. He's in the building getting ready for the 11 o'clock news. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved from banking into an untapped industry, which is manufacturing in the Bahamas. And now we are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has 2 arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. It's never been done before. It really makes a difference, not only in the Bahamas, but even around the world. This is not just a project that we're doing so that we can make a couple of dollars. We want to make sure that it benefits those who come after us. In future generations, we hope that this is a small vision, that they will take it and they'll expand on it. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas, in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Ed Social Mania. This is an exciting educational game show based upon the Ministry of Education's primary social studies curriculum, in which we place opposing school teams to test their social studies knowledge. I'm your host, Adama Williams, and I'm going to lead you through this creative educational experience. Today, we have the students of Woodcock Primary School.
My name is Tony Marie Rigby, and I am in the 5th grade.
Hello, my name is Ashley Johnson, and I am in the 6th grade.
My name is Emanuela Bladden, and I am in the 5th grade.
And to my left,